if you want to get, you need to give a little. You have to be willing to give a little, and it's not giving what you might expect. Actually, you need to cut out the stuff in your life that is clogging up the space. If you are a people pleaser, or you're somebody that's not really used to setting boundaries, one of the best ways that you can actually attract a whole other life as your own, to redefine your life, redefine your identity, do a reset, whatever it might be, is that even if you're a highly ambitious person, you accomplish a lot of things, or maybe you have a lot of ideas, but you're not able to execute a lot of them most of the time, and you're surrounded by people that need your help, and you're the person that wants to give everything to everyone all at once. You need to set your boundaries, actually. I'm going to talk about the importance of actually making space in your life and setting boundaries, and the importance of valuing self-respect in order to attract the life that you want to have. Because especially if you're the type of person that really feels like you are at a standstill, nothing's really working for you in your life, it's kind of like the stagnancy. It's time to do an evaluation, to actually sit down and take a look at your life and understand in which areas of your life is it clogging space. And I'll tell you, like, actually from my own experience recently. So whenever I'm cleaning, or whenever I'm organizing, and I'm like, I really don't want to do this, even though I do it on a daily basis, but I really don't feel like it, right? But I do it because I believe that in order to make space, especially as women, like, I feel like women have their own techniques sometimes. For example, it could be by doing your own facial routine, cleaning, even like doing your eyebrows again, shaving your face, whatever you do, like microneedling, dermaplaning, whatever it is, making space, essentially getting rid of the old and bringing in the new. I feel the same when I cut my hair, things like this. If my hair is done, I feel like I have more space and capacity to welcome new things in my life. So maybe that would be one way that a lot of women that really prioritize or have like a maintenance schedule for their appearance might feel. For me though, I have a daily routine, and when I'm cleaning, I always think, even though I really don't want to clean that, I'm like, I need to make space for my mind, for my physical area, my apartment, to make enough space to be able to bring in new. And I actually think that's very important. It's the reason that I clean my floors. It's the reason why I clean the parts that I really don't want to clean, other than just the idea of keeping a very nice apartment. But actually the idea of making space is so important, because you have to increase your capacity of what you're able to handle. I think it's really important that if you're trying to manifest like really big changes in your life, that you understand the idea of sacrifice. Because when it comes to manifestation, nothing is really free, is it? Because you're exchanging something for a result. It is like the law of the universe. The law of the universe, you have to give something to get something. And you get to define, though, what it is that you have to give up or sacrifice. I think that's the best part, because at the end of the day, it's about what you hold valuable to you. So if you're willing to give time for something or effort for something, or if it's something more psychological, like you're willing to give up the fear of rekindling a relationship with your family members again, that's a huge sacrifice. I mean, if you're ready for a step like that, and that's something that you've actually wanted to do but been afraid to do it, confronting that fear is the sacrifice. Feeling uncomfortable is the sacrifice. And I think setting a definition for yourself when you're creating a new life for yourself, I've done the same. I wrote a contract with myself about a year ago when I said I wanted to approach the dream of moving to South Korea to be a K-pop artist. My idea was actually, I need to sacrifice something to get there. I was living in Germany at the time. I'm from the States, but I spent 5 years living in Germany. I'm married. I mean, I have all these things going on, and I'm like, what am I willing to sacrifice for this dream? And define it. And it doesn't need to be things that you don't want to sacrifice. For me, it was sacrificing the fear of being seen. It was sacrificing being uncomfortable in front of other people, sacrificing being a beginner at something, sacrificing my effort, even sacrificing money and investment, because it takes money to move to a new place, obviously. I was like, okay, These are the things I'm willing to sacrifice. I'm not willing to sacrifice my relationships with the people that I care about the most. I want to maintain those relationships, but I'm willing to sacrifice those other things. And I set that contract with myself that means I need to make space. For example, if it means that I'm going to sacrifice my people-pleasing tendencies, which is very important, then you have to evaluate where in your life can you sacrifice. For example, you have a new client and it's a really promising offer, but you don't like the way that they're speaking with you, the way that they're interacting with you. They don't respect your deadlines. They don't respect you in general with the way that they talk to you. And I've had this time and time again. In the past, I would have said, oh, I'll just endure it because I want to be able to have the financial payoff and I want to help the person. Now I'm not like that. And I've found that I've gotten a lot more of what I want, a lot more financial abundance now that I've focused on the idea of not sacrificing on my self-respect. So sacrificing the people-pleasing tendency in order to have the self-respect of a person who constantly deserves an increase in income. I don't think it's so much about how many affirmations you do, about how many subliminals you listen to, and so on. I think it's a lot more about the idea of what type of person do you need to become in order to get the thing that you want. So not saying I want to manifest $10 million. I would look at it from a point of how do I get to be that type of person who can hold $1 million or $10 million? How can I, or what type of person does that look like? What does that mean about my actions on a daily basis? My cat is going so crazy right now. She must really want you to understand this is an important message, okay? Take this as a sign. She ran into my camera and everything. Understand that when it comes to being able to set up an identity, asking yourself this. So I would ask myself, because I asked myself this yesterday, and I feel like I ask myself this question like 10 times a month or more, and I'm always redefining my identity. So I wrote it in my journal, and I wrote like, what type of person is the type of person who has all that money that I set out? And I'm like, it's not really about the money then, is it? Because it's not. It's the money gets me the thing that I want. So I'm not really manifesting the money. I'm manifesting the lifestyle where I have the visa that I want, where I have the freedom that I want to build the career that I want. So it isn't about manifesting money at all. And I think that this is something that if you're manifesting or trying to bring in a lot of income and it's a specific amount, to really, instead of just thinking of the thing, but asking yourself of your why. I feel like your why is more important and it touches closer to your heart than the actual number itself, because numbers are arbitrary. I mean, it's just numbers. We put value on a piece of paper, you know? And so it's hard for a lot of people to really connect to the idea of, oh, I want to manifest a freaking pointless number amount that we put value to. I don't really care about the money amount. It's actually the lifestyle that it will provide for me, the freedom that it will grant me, the freedom to be able to focus on what I actually want to do in this life. So it's not actually that you're manifesting the money, you're manifesting the freedom to be able to focus on something else. So you need to define your identity. What is the type of person who has that type of lifestyle? So you might ask yourself that, and you might need to do a complete overhaul of your identity and your lifestyle. Because that might mean, for example, if you want to be a super successful career person, you want to be able to pursue your passion, you want to be able to have really high paying clients. What type of person is that though? I'll tell you one thing, that type of person has self-respect and they have boundaries. They're not afraid to cut clients off. They're not afraid to say, no, this doesn't suit me at this moment and I'm not willing to invest my time in it. Even for little things, if your friends ask you to meet up and you simply just don't want to go and be like, hey, I don't feel good right now, I'm sorry, I won't show up. And that's it. It doesn't need to be a big deal. It doesn't need to have a whole long explanation. You don't need to spill about what's going on in your life. But every single time you stand up for yourself in this way, you're reinforcing the identity of the type of person that you want to become, for the thing that you want to hold. And you manifest already every day without even thinking. If you find that you don't like the way your life is going, but at the same time you let clients or customers walk all over you and you don't stand up for yourself, you're actively bringing more of that into your life. You're sending out to the universe that I'm a person that's not really worthy of being respected, because you don't even respect your own boundaries by not standing up for yourself. And I think it's a really difficult thing, because I've always been that person who hasn't stood up for themselves, and always like after an argument, man, I should have said that, man, I should have stuck up for myself more. And I find myself so furious after an argument at myself, because I'm like, why didn't you say anything? I know that I run away from conflict. So in fact, because I know that I'm like that, I actively rebel against my own nature in that way. And I'm like, I'm an anti-confrontation person. I avoid confrontation. I'm very much of an avoidant personality. But now I've started to do things that a confrontational person would do. Or at least a person that would respect themselves. You have to be humble and not disrespect others in that way. But, standing up for yourself. Even and especially when it's freaking scary. But you need to learn this lesson early on if you want to develop that mindset of the person that you want to become. And understanding that, and doing an audit of your life and looking at your life and seeing in which areas can I make space, in which areas does it not really suit that type of person I want to become. Borrowing wisdom from your future self and saying, what would my future self be doing? I don't know what I'm doing right now. What would my future self tell me to do? What would she or he tell me, you should be doing this? Because it would probably be something like, I want you to get up and try. I want you to take action. I want you to stand up for yourself. I want you to respect yourself, respect your boundaries, know exactly what you want, know how you want it. You want money, but you don't want people to disrespect you, right? The balance, the self-respect aspect is so important. When you make space in your life by cutting off people that don't deserve your time in this way, when you cut off experiences, things like this, I know it's not always so easy to do this, so you have to do it in little ways. So that could be by even confronting someone who's done you wrong. If somebody cuts you off in line one day, and you shouldn't just take it. This is an active practice. Don't take it that seriously, but it's a practice. It's an exercise for yourself, and say, hey, sorry, you just cut in front of me. I've been waiting here for a long time. Do you mind going to the back of the line? Even if they say no, at least you say something about it. You don't need to turn it into an argument, but you can at least confront it. Actively doing things like this are exercises that give the sign to the universe that you're ready to adopt a different lifestyle, different form of life. So if you're finding that you're doing all the manifestation techniques, but nothing's happening for you, well, do you know manifestation is also fueled by intentional action? You have the thing in your head, but the next step is to take intentional steps. And it could be by doing steps like this. It doesn't need to be the way that everyone thinks, where it has to be like, oh yeah, that means I need to hustle. I need to find a job that pays me really well. If I want to be a millionaire, I need to throw all my time and effort into my business. It doesn't have to be like that. It can be small things by changing your behavior, changing your attitude, changing the way that you work towards things, setting it up like that. This is one of the craziest things, because I found that growing up I wasn't like that at all. And when I started adopting this mindset in the past year or so, I was so surprised at the way that people treated me, with actual respect. And I was confused. I'm like, why are they not questioning me when I said no? And they're like, okay, I understand. Or, oh, I get it. Or I would even have meetings with people and they're speaking to me and they're like, oh my gosh, thank you so much for having a meeting with us. We really appreciate it. Really sorry for the inconvenience about something that happened. And I'm just like, why are they so, I never gave the impression that I'm someone to be disrespected, right? I didn't say anything in specific, but actually my demeanor did. The way that I hold myself and my boundaries did. Being kind, but also having respect for yourself, the balance between the two makes other people respect you. And having that shift is the type of shift that you have to make. Because I don't think in order to become a millionaire that you have to be a higher level of intelligence. It's almost like changing your behavior is the intentional action. It is the becoming of the identity of someone who can hold that. It doesn't need to be about all the time of I need to hustle. A lot of becoming somebody that is very capable of holding more. Millionaire status or having a successful business is about building. You need to build the identity, build self-development. It's a constant development journey. So actually making more space will always reward you with more, because you're making more space for something else and you're sacrificing. The act of sacrificing and putting in your intentional action is incredible. Because actually one of the best things that you can do when you're in a crisis, a financial crisis, and you're freaking out about what do I do next? I need to hustle, hustle, hustle. Actually, one of the best things that you can do is to not respond like that, but to take a deep breath and actively do actions that will go against the normal reaction of somebody in that situation. Because you would think, oh, I'm running out of money, and you would say, okay, I need to find a job. I'm applying to every single job. Oh my gosh. No, you're acting from a place of fear and survival and lack, and that does not attract more goodness and abundance into your space. I know it sounds freaking insane, but you have to try it. Instead of freaking out, you're going to be like, what would you be doing if you didn't have that problem? You would just keep going with what you were doing. If you're a content creator, that means even if I'm really scared right now, I'm just going to keep posting content as usual. I'm going to do business as usual. Or pretend like it doesn't exist. You don't give your energy to the problem. Give your energy to the solution and keep going. I think that's one of the biggest things that you can do, is to learn the skill of letting emotions come, sit, and let them leave. Don't let them sit with you and change and warp your whole view. Like, maybe I haven't made enough money for rent this month. I'm scared. Sit with the feeling of fear. Feel it in your heart. I'm afraid. I feel afraid. Because and why and because and why. And then I let it go. I felt the emotion. It's gone. Don't let it become your story. Let it come and let it go. It's an experience. This is actually how you can be more open to letting in good experiences as well. You're making more space. Making space by making decisions about other people. Making space about making new rules for yourself. And I recommend writing your own rules. I have my whole set of rules. It's like a whole commandment list. For example, I don't work after 8 p.m. I don't look at my phone after 8 p.m. I don't answer messages after 8 p.m. unless I'm live streaming, period. That's how it is. You set these commandments for yourself, and then you let emotions come and go. Don't let them fester. This is all about making space. Talking about being open-minded to the universe, and the idea of the how is not your responsibility. Your responsibility is to consistently make space by working on yourself, letting it come and go. Defining the type of person you want to be. I mean, I have my notebook, and I wrote in my notebook, who am I? And I read it every morning and before I go to bed, so I remember who you are. And you can at any moment adjust and redefine who you are. You can change it at any time. You could be like, I don't like this identity, I'm gonna shift. Period. This is your life. This is absolutely your life. You have the ability to rewrite who you are. Isn't that incredible? Like, what would you be doing if you knew that you had that power? Well, guess what you know now? You can write in your notebook. I write, I am the type of person who wakes up in Korea, where I am here, but I wake up knowing my reason that I'm here. I wake up feeling that I have a purpose to be here, being here, whatever. I continuously work on my content. I confront issues when they come up. And I'm very professional with what I do. I keep trying new things. That is the type of mindset of the person that holds the things that I want to hold. It's not about, oh, I'm a businesswoman, I own a big business, blah, blah, blah. To me, it's deeper. It's about the type of person who that person is, the type of person that made space time and time again and confronted all the issues as a previous people pleaser who still struggles with it but chooses to confront these things and let them go. One of the bravest things I've ever done. Not moving to a new country twice. It was confronting these issues, confronting people, not being afraid to stand up for myself in a respectful way, in the way that I would want to be treated as well if there was an issue with communication. Solving my communication wounds has been so difficult because I'm the type of person that doesn't like answering text messages. It just feels so overwhelming. But guess what? I've been answering my messages every day. One of the best things that I've done to make space. So every single time that I lose an opportunity or I have to fire a client, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to get tenfold as a result of it because I was brave enough to do it. I'm making space. So look at the areas in your life that you need to make space. And if you want to reset your life and need a blueprint for how to set this up, I've created a whole book on this. I actually wrote a book on it by myself. No, AI did not write it. I wrote this based off of my experience changing my life at 24 years old. Or I was 23 years old. Yeah, I was 23. Dang. Yeah. When I was 23, my whole life flipped upside down. I had to redefine my life. I'm a high achiever. I've had a lot of accolades in my life. However, I never felt like I belonged anywhere, and I never felt like there was a certain career for me until the last year. I finally made progress. So if you want to know where to begin, have journaling prompts as well as a sense of direction of what to do, then this blueprint is for you. The link is in the description below, and the link is in the comments, in the pinned comments. Thank you so much. We have 15 subscribers. To me, that means so much. I have other channels, like I said, that have like almost 10K subscribers, which I'm really proud of. But this channel is such a passion for me. Having 15 people find my words valuable enough to listen to in this format, it makes me feel... I can't even describe it. It feels incredible. 15 people, like if I... One day to be able to have the chance to speak in front of a group of people in person would be freaking incredible. So thank you so much for subscribing and liking this video. And I'll see you in the next one.